I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about this.
5 seconds
I need to put my
remaining.
points at Execration. I'm just saying.
3 picks in. Let's give him 2 more. But I'm in agreement. But just the points, you gotta wait a little bit. All right, you can't have the points just being lost already. I know you're picking up a lot of them. So
Lesh is fine until TB gets Skadi.
yes,
Then it is not fine. And I feel like you have nothing that's going to slow down TB's farm. Doom is not an initiator. He's not a
10
Dragon Knight. He's
seconds
not a
remaining.
Beastmaster. Granted, they've banned out the Dragon Knight themselves,
5
and
seconds
well,
remaining.
Beastmaster's not bad, but clearly they're thinking, well, clearly that didn't work out too well in game number 1. So I don't know. I'm really not liking this. I think Avatar mode just needs to play absolutely bonkers this game. You don't have a Warlock that's going to be rotating. Maybe the Nyx can, but I feel like if Nyx rotates, you just die to a Terrorblade plus. I mean, maybe it's Snapfire, but it's Shanks. He's probably going to be playing the Snap. I don't know. I like the Lesh. I hate the Doom.
I am even trying to think if Execration can flex play Snap 5. I know Vincenzo can give the Tiny to the 4 and look for like a better answer to the Leshrac, where you look Invoker or Conqueror has really been the big 2. And I think that's also nice to help like reset away from the Doom, reset away from the Rock, buff up the Terrorblade a little bit if you're looking towards the Invoker, even the Run buff to help get the Sunder off. They're just really good matchups versus the Leshrac, and I think you're kind of wanting a bit more of an early game answer to him, because like you mentioned, TB, he's a late game answer. Like once you get Skadi, you do kill the Leshrac before he's actually able to get on top of you. Lesh has some really big armor issues, so you kind of have to go down like a Shiva's at an earlier stage. So TB's the later answer. You need kind of an early answer, because if you don't deal with it, then maybe Neon can just, this Leshrac can pop off and anything can happen if that's the case.
Radiant team
The
back.
bat. They Beastmastered themselves. Okay, so I was thinking, I still think they're leaning towards last pick bat here. I know against the Nyx it's not amazing, but they just needed some way to instantly get onto the backlines, because their ability for pickoff is just crazy on Execration right now, right? Like you've got
10 seconds
Tiny
remaining.
Avatos combo, Cookie, Scatterblast, Terrorblade damage, of course,
5
Beastmaster,
seconds
decent
remaining.
amount of damage. So you just need to find the target that you want, and then it's just about the repositioning
Dire
coming from the
team
Bat
back.
Rider, who good laning against the Leshrac as well, who's wanting to be spamming out the Lightning Storm to be able to punish it in that way. So yeah, I really think they're leaning towards it. That's why Neon banned it.
And it's it's not fun playing into a Bob Bat Rider.
10
So
seconds remaining.
I mean, he is. There's a lot of Southeast Asian players, honestly, in
Radiant
regards to
team
position
back.
2s that play this hero at a ridiculous level. But all right, we're looking for Fortune Souls hero with the 23rd pick. Is
Dire team back.
anything that's standing out for you at the
Radiant
moment?
team pick.
I was about to say PL, but it's been banned. Don't know if it's a great Naga game. I'm just thinking about, they don't even have like a crap ton of single target on Execration. There's a decent split, right? Wild Axes, Avatos,
10
Cookie,
seconds
Kisses, Scatterblast. So Illusions isn't even necessarily the answer to
5
the Terrorblade.
seconds
Maybe they're
remaining.
going to like try and outrange it with someone that's just going to be pinging him from afar. But again, you've got a Beastmaster who's going to be able to scout that out. You've got a Tiny that's going to be able to blink in and just toss them back. I think that's the way that they're probably going to go on Execration. So we might even see like the position
Dire
4 or
team
5 still yet to come for Execration. It's I don't know about this, because it's like, I was about to say it's fast tempo and it makes sense together with the Doom, but again, what's the combination with the Warlock? What's for the laning stage? Doom comes online a lot later. So what are you really going to do in the meantime? And they do go
You
to
may now
5. Yeah.
select your
So this is really
heroes.
what I was thinking. So it's still going to be a mid-tiny, and then a lot of the engagements is just going to be based around that Hawk being thrown out into the backline. You really want to catch out the Warlock if you can. Just blink in, toss back to the rest of your team. Hopefully you can have a BKB, and then you win the fight from there, because that is still such a huge portion of your damage output.
Well, we actually get to see it's going to be the position 4 Enchantress. So Shanks is going to be the one pulling that up. Do you feel like maybe with this Enchantress pick, they're really looking to secure the off lane for Mr. Tino?
there's an argument towards like securing the off lane, but it's also just like how horrible can you make life for the Ursa, right? Because like you're always going to be able to harass, right? With the Boars, Ursa, Warlock have pretty terrible ways of dealing with them. You've also got the Enchantress with the Impetus, got to be constantly spamming that out. And then if you're using the Shadow Word, Enchant, it's gone. If you try and get aggressive with Overpower, Enchant, it's gone. So pretty solid Enchantress pick here just to make sure that Fortune Soul basically doesn't have a game and they don't get that early momentum that I was talking about that they're going to need if they have any sort of chance. I'm going Execration.
All right. So the points on the lads for Execration. You were saying it kind of 3 picks in. And you're saying it 5 picks in as well. But how many points?
Let me get them in. All right, they're in 250,000 on
Bias caster. Jesus Christ, can't be me. Cannot be me at all. I mean, this is a do or die game here for the lads on Knee, and if they lose this game, then they are relegated out of Division 2 for the next DPC, for the next year in a whole.
Quals is where they're going to need to be.
Which is,
I think they still get a chance at TI regional qualifiers, but again, if you're getting relegated out of DPC without a win, I'd say TI's it's a far way away.
Yes, that's a nicer way to putting it than what I did. So we'll see. This is a must-need victory here for the lads on Neon, and we'll see if they're able to pull this one out of the hat. You feel like they don't have the lineup to do that, which I'm sure is a bit of a concern. Because I mean,
to be fair about TI, anything's possible, right? Like Alliance just got invited to a major, so miracles can happen.
Jesus Christ, man!
Not a major, but a LAN event.
What are you doing? Why'd you do that?
I just want the loader tweet, man. I want the angry loader in the DM saying, "What is wrong with you,
dude?" But come on, man. We've got afters in Alliance. You got to be happy about something.
Of course, I'm happy about it, but it doesn't mean
deserve
I think it's justified.
30 seconds to battle.
All right, Tino's gone Axes level 1, so I wonder if this is just regardless if a fight's gonna break out, like better to have the Axes than the Boars at like a rune fight.
Potentially. I mean, we know these are Southeast Asian teams. They like fighting. Yeah, Tino, he pings out exactly where the ward is. They actually, with Avatar mode, it was some clever stepping back and forth there, just giving him vision and not revealing one of the more common spots on the right-hand side, forcing them to drop a sentry ward that actually wasn't really worth anything. But they are still going to know where the real ward is. So I wonder if a sentry's ever going to come out from Bob. Probably one of the worst heroes in the game, actually, at taking... at dewarding is a tiny, just because of your incredibly slow attack speed.
Alright, Shanks is gonna body the Warlock in this lane. Oh my... No, this is not good. I hope he just
Can't do anything.
cuts down
Level
and...
2.
I keep right-clicking him. Oh no. Okay, regardless, yeah, his bottom lane's not gonna be good at all. They can't deal with the Enchantress creep, and they're not gonna be able to deal with the Boars once Tino picks them up as well, so... feel like this bottom lane for Execration should be very comfortable. We'll have to put a lot of emphasis on Set and just his kind of sustain he can provide with the Shadow Word we saw in game 1. He went down the Bassi route. He's already got the Sage's Mask, so wouldn't be surprised.
What's going on up top? Like, what are these creeps doing? Just dragging him around everywhere. Wanting Palos, like I don't want to say he's wasted his mana timing, but he has not used it to be able to right-click the enemy Doom, which, I mean... you've got 2 range for a short period of time against 2 melee. And wasn't able to get too much punish happening there, but Chuan able to get the big ring around the rosy going here.
Well, alright, so this is really important for what Vincenzo's doing. He's going to aggro the creeps. They'll probably lose a melee. They hopefully don't lose the range as well because of... yes! Okay, well, he got the last hit, but... ideally, what Vincenzo's able to do is drag the creeps all the way around the tower instead of dragging it inside the tower range, just so it frees up. Now you've got a second full wave to be able to meet the creep wave behind the Tower of Palos. That just denies it over Dooms. And also Palos isn't missing CS as well into the tower.
And he's also making sure to get that D-ward going off there of the small camp, so he's even going to be able to pull this one. So very nicely done by Vincenzo. How's mid going? Pretty even so far. no one's really getting a ton of last hits going on. Although Bob gets a value deny off onto the rage creep and immediately lets Avatar Mode know about it. I'm honestly really stunned that Fortune Soul has this much net worth. I'm looking at net worth right now, not last hits, and he's a good 100 ahead of anyone else. Very surprising.
We're both feeling like this lane's not going to get easier though, right? I'm also surprised at how it's been able to start relatively well, but surely once they get levels, it's just going to be a completely different story.
I'm going to try going in onto Shanks. He's level 2, so he doesn't have the Nature's Attendants available. Will they be able to get the kill? No, not quite. Tino was going to be there for the body blocks to happen, but yeah, I'm a little surprised. I think we haven't been watching this bottom lane because of all the shenanigans happening up top, but it really feels like they should have at least been able to get the first blood by this stage.
Nicely done from Sek. Gets the pull into the hard camp. They are... Tino's able to re-aggro one of them, but not the biggest issue, so... They're doing a really good job bottom to continue to help the Ursa being able to find farm, and I think now our eyes kind of have to peer towards how they're able to help secure Avatar Mode's game, because both these heroes are going to be pretty reliant on the runes. We already saw that the Nyx Assassin from Chuan was starting to make his way mid, but feels that he doesn't need at least to be able to bodyguard one of the runes.
Gotcha.
Might be wrong though. Dyra coming down bottom. Vincenzo's... What's he doing? Just stopping them from getting the hard camp pull, it looks like.
2 on Vincenzo, the little shredder. Maybe just wanting to, again, combine with the Blightstone, but he's got it. And Ryu's got that super value creep. The Seder, what is it, Tormentor?
Yep.
Mind Stealer.
Oh, it's Mind Stealer, okay. Both sides actually didn't put any emphasis really on blocking the camps. You know, Shanks, I guess they blocked the hard camp actually, but you know, Shanks has got the Centaur Conqueror to be able to play with. The Doom, he got none of his camps blocked in kind of the jungle by the top outpost, so yeah, both the Doom and the Enchantress can work with multiple creeps.
So annoying, just having this mana burn constantly being thrown at you. Use it onto Vincenzo, but there's that damage. Good stun coming out from Chuan, though, making sure that that metamorphosis damage isn't able to punish Enryu while he was locked down.
They get the ice armor creep up top, then Doom's going to be straight chilling. All the damage coming up, mainly top. It's going to be physical. It goes 2 points in the low shredder as well, so yeah, that with the meta damage. So yeah, if he's able to get the bonus armor, you see he's already got the ring of protection. He's going to be going at pretty early phase boots as well. So just recognizing it is all physical from the lads on Execration. Vincenzo might be in a bit of trouble actually. They're starting to pump in the damage to the Snapfire. It has soon run out though with the Scorched Earth expiring, but Palace doesn't have the metamorphosis to right click down Enryu. So... battle of the nutrition at the top side, but no one really coming out on top with the cells being expended.
I'm a little surprised as well that Palace didn't go even just a single point in the reflection. I feel like it makes life a whole lot easier for Vincenzo, being able to hit the cookies, the scatter blasts, and be able to convert. Oh, top side, they use the mana burn onto the TB, so won't be able to use anything for a little bit now unless he pops
bottom lane,
stick.
Fortune Soul. He might end up going down. Some stick charges to play with, but another Zat coming out from the Harpy Stormcrafter. 140 damage with the initial jump is just a stupid amount.
He's just wanting to give vision for Shanks right now. He wants to land that last impetus hit. Even holding on to the 4th point just in case he needs to level it up. Could level it up mid-air as well if he feels like it would be enough to secure the kill, but Seth going to be able to back off in time.
Middle tower is under attack.
What's Bob gonna look to do with this invis? He's still
there together with Shanks, I think.
Okay. Pops out. Shanks is still gonna stick around though to try and get this kill. Moving, they don't get a lot of damage. Toss back into the lane. So Avatar Mode's just going to move to the kind of the northwest side, but Shanks still going to enter on forward. The threat of the TP from Sesh should be enough with the Shadow Word, so they force a rotation out of the Warlock to try and keep the Leshrac alive. He's going to be alright. Back to the jungle he goes on the Lesh.
Tino doesn't have any kill threat yet. He doesn't have a Helm of the Dominator creep. He doesn't have the Primal Roar just yet, but he has enough to buy the helm now if he wants to. So it's going to be sent out to him at the moment. Fortune Soul, again, I feel like he's doing a decent enough job in this bottom lane when I thought he should have been crushed. Oh, and he's got the Mind Stealer. All right, now he's crushed.
I mean, the net worth, like you mentioned before, he did have a 100 gold advantage over everyone else, but it started to even out. In fact, the Beastmaster's got about a 400 advantage now, and Fortune Soul, his counterpart in the carry. Palace is back to the jungle. Early rotation for him, now giving a free lane from Vincenzo, so the Snapfire can just soak up that experience, a little bit of gold. And this is someone where the level 6 is going to be really important from them. You know, Bob can just step in with the Avalanche Toss, who is currently getting chased down, but Bob's able to hold them back with the Avalanche. So, yeah, I feel like for Execration, we're kind of just looking for the... For Bob's rotation, which he's going to do just now. And Ryu's first Doom use of the game should be able to get the damage tick over to the Snapfire. Maybe they can get the denied. No, just a little bit too late from Shanks. But they'll at least get a return kill. So it's a offlaner for 5, an ultimate expended for a couple of rotations.
Avatar mode looking to try and punish Tino if he can. Tino, his spidey senses are tingling though. Without the Hawk up, he still knows to be able to back off in time. They know, of course, you never really want to leave a lane unguarded against a Leshrac. He could dish out so much damage into the middle tower, so the second that when Bob makes that TP top, mid tower isn't getting pushed in with the Edict, they know he's coming bot.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
What's Bob got coming out on the courier? Alright, phase boot's completed. Bit of a different build from Bob this game. We saw the brown boots blink in game 1, feeling the importance of going phase boots windlace. A lot of movement speed. So he's going to run into Fortune Soul. Says they buy the instant Shadow Word, but it's going to be a lot of burst coming up from Execration, but it is not enough. Fortune Soul. And Rage, and out he goes. Bob's still pursuing on. If he wraps all the way around, he might run into the Ursa on the retreat, but Fortune Soul is going to make sure that is not a possibility.
Speaking of those rotations from the Tiny, we can see Avatar mode this time around choosing to go for a little bit more of the map control as opposed to...
Oh, nice move from Bob.
Kills.
He's going to get the toss onto Twan, straight to Shanks' location, but Twan is pretty quick on the fingers. Impaled to hold back Shanks. Bob's going to still continue the chase. They have the enchant as well if they require the slow. But just the impetus from afar is plenty. And well, this drags them away from the tower. So Palace with that metamorphosis, a really nice rotation from the carry for Execration, getting involved early on the tower siege.
Invisibility.
I can understand wanting to go for something like the Hood of Defiance first on the Leshrac. Of course, it has a good build-up with the Eternal Shroud. I still feel like after that, he can't just rush Eternal Shroud straight up. I think he needs that BKB available, just so that, again, you're able to take
look at the look at the Ancients. Bob with the invis. They were eyeing up Fortune Soul. They'll go for the easy kill instead.
Tiny, Ursa was still high HP enough that he probably wouldn't have been bursted down, had the enrage available.
Is under attack.
3,000 net worth lead though for Execration. Bob's got an incredible neutral item for himself to play with the Fairy's Trinket. This amount of gold in the bank as well, over halfway towards the blink. And you've also got a free game for Tino. And this is a catapult wave as well, so Neon, they're either going to be forced to bring some heroes down bottom or to use the glyph to protect this tower.
Again, how?
Oh, dude, double Dark Troll. What is this?
Double Dark Troll. I mean, Avatar mode doesn't really care. He's got a lot of those Lightning Storm strikes, 7 targets being hit, the Pulse Nova, so they're going to die pretty quickly. But, man, they're just looking for the wrapper, and they're looking for any kind of angle just to be able to burst down this Leshrac instantly.
They're going to jump. Bob's in. It's a beautiful rock from Set to hold them back, and with the Fatal Bonds leashing them together as well, Shanks, the toss away, it's not going to keep the Enchanters alive. They might turn, though, from Tino's Roar. Enchanto standing hand in hand with Tino, so they'll be able to provide plenty of damage to get rid of a second number on the lads of Neon. And even Palace is considering about rotating down. He's got the meta up in 15. Haste as well to join if a fight further breaks out. And Bob is considering about wrapping around, but so he's hard stuck into the tree line.
Have to be careful about this. Enryu spent a lot of time up on the top side, but that was because he was getting his Blink Dagger. He's got it now available for himself, and with the Doom available as well, certainly look to make some kind of engagement happen. And yep, they do. Sucks, of course, to lose a couple of heroes, but they know that there's no kisses. They know that there's no raw.
They're going to see Palos. That's a big jump. That's a huge blink reveal from Enryu. No hesitation with the Doom being committed. When Vincenzo looked for the cute deny off the back of the Lil Shredder, he's going to try and TP out in the trees, and he'll be okay. And Neon, they might be able to chain this into an objective. What's the call? Ursa, always an incredible Roche, at least person to take, but they will not go for that or the T1 tower.
This is the thing that really is hurting Neon the most, in my opinion. Just understanding their strength at certain times. They have a Leshrac. They have full points in the Edict. Surely you used the Doom previously, but they still didn't have kisses. They still didn't have Raw. And you'd realistically only used one spell.
Dino down bottom.
Take that out.
Oh, Chuan's going to miss. Chuan misses on the stun, but Avatar mode, he will not. Dino's able to get the Raw off, and look at the damage coming through for Palos. Way too much physical damage. Palace turns to defensive. Hang on, the Edict, Palace. Okay. It's going to be alright. Will not tick out to this set. Successful in his TP, but defensive Sunder, keeping Tino alive. They turn with the damage. I mean, that is just... That's all teaser of what can happen with this Terrorblade into the Leshrac matchup, and it's supposed to be pretty decent for the Lesh at the early stages.
It relies on your team hitting their stuns, though, right? Like, it's the big difference maker. It's just, if Chuan's able to hit that stun, you don't get the Raw off, you're still able to dish out a whole lot more damage before going down, and, yeah, that's as simple as that sometimes, and we've still got a pretty juicy wave down here with the Beastmaster continuing to push on in.
Is under attack.
Should be a very easy tier 2 secured for yourselves. Again, like, how do these supports do anything against the split push? And these were the first two heroes that you revealed with the draft. It wasn't like it was a later Warlock or a later Nyx Assassin. These were heroes that you basically were just putting up a big sign that said, hey, push me. That's exactly what they're doing. They pick up that Beastmaster that wasn't banned out. They could have liked it. They could have done anything.
Is there a way for Kobolds? Is there a way for Neon to look towards the late game here? Because Fortune Soul, as he blocked up his own... Wait, what? Okay, he didn't block up the Ancients, but he's gone for the Battle Fury. And you've got a Doom as well, who, of course, getting full usage out of the Devour as the game goes later and later. So could this just be the game plan for Neon?
Oh, I still don't trust the Ursa into the TB, though. They're going to go for another attempt, and I think this is what Neon need to be doing.
And Ryu.
That's a good initiation.
Oh, that's a beautiful stun from Chuan. Gets 3 heroes with the Impale. The Doom's out onto the Tiny as well. Bob's going to retreat to the safety of the tower. They're able to hold back Enryu at the moment. Can they hold back the rest of Neon? They haven't been able to close the distance just yet. Chuan onto the right side, but the Doom, it doesn't take Bob out, and he's going to jump now. Chuan. Quick fingers, but Bob's reactions are even better. Make sure he doesn't get the damage tick onto the Spike Carapace. Now, it does turn their attention away from the tier 1 tower, though. So, Neon, that is a pretty big objective for them to find, at least.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're playing on Radiant's side with an Ursa. You need to open up that Roshan pit as much as you can. I really don't think Execration are in a position where they can look to do it unless they pop the TB with a Metamorphosis. And hell, maybe they do, right? They use the Chaotic Offering, they use the Vendetta, they use the Doom. This might be the window that they needed.
Very good call. Looks like Palace starting to move on over. Radiant, they were able to scarf this out. They had a leanward mid. Oh, Medallion, perfect.
Do anything about it, though.
Yeah,
you just got to give it up, unfortunately.
Are scanning.
Oh.
Dire
They're scanning it. Or, well, not scanning it. They're scanning around the area, but they're just
Roshan has
too little,
fallen to the
too
dark.
late.
And Execration know where they are.
Get them on the retreat, maybe?
Scan from Dire, so they have some information of where Neon are positioning on the map. Of course, Doom being on cooldown, but they're going to catch Vincenzo off on the side. Bob's in with the combo, but the follow-up's lacking, so Avatar mode is going to charge in the middle, but I mean, they've got the meta. Avatar mode, that Eternal Shred is going to do nothing versus Palace's damage.
A rolling stone.
Oh, they're just trying to desperately claw back any part of their map that they can. They're going to say, we want this outpost, but Execration, they're in a position where they can just claim it right on back. Bob's taunting Seth right now, giving him the hand, wanting the high five. But, well, unfortunately, Seth, I can understand why he doesn't want to give it back. It's just, it's a dire state for them to be in right now.
Top lane, they might be looking for the Ursa. It's not an easy kill at all. They're going to lead him with a cookie. Fortune Soul, he might be out. Oh, Bob's nearby. He probably can't go for the TP now. He's not even close enough for the T1 tower. And, well, there's no TPs coming out as well for the Ursa. They're finally able to land the Mortimer Kisses for the slow. Palace and Bob put their heroes directly on top of the carry in regards to Fortune Soul. So Execration, 6,000 net worth lead, and they're back across.
Have you had a look at Shanks' net worth relative to Bob's?
I'm looking at Shanks potentially dying to the left rack.
Ooh, what a
Bob! Okay, well, straight back into Enryu. So the save was cute and all. It's buying a little bit of time, though. Bob needs the mana for the Avalanche. It's not going to have it just yet. They'll turn to Chuan. Double kill for Tino.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Bob, he's got nothing in the arsenal to be able to catch out any of these heroes.
Well, Ench did have more net worth than the Tiny at that stage, and it's not like Bob has been having a bad game either. 4-0 and 6 at this stage. He's holding onto a lot of that gold himself, so it's not like he's fully utilizing all of it. Wonder what avenue he's going to go down next. Wouldn't hate an Echo Saber here. I feel like you're not necessarily worried about dropping off just because you've got that Tiny, you've got that Terrorblade, you've got an Ench that's farming, you've got a Beastmaster that's enabling you.
Uh-oh, Fortune Soul. Not like this, friend. Oh. A little bit awkward. He's got a TP if he wants to go for it. Hey, Bob, miss execution, and meanwhile, inside the Radiant jungle, Neon, they're able to capitalize on the lack of heroes, but they're going to enter the fight. Palos. Skadi completed. Now they get the Reflection Slow as well. The only thing to hold them back is going to be the Impale, but Bob is in. A beautiful Avalanche onto 3, but an even better rock to delay it at the moment. But the stun, it doesn't last long at all. All it does is just annoy Execration.
And they've still got this creep wave coming in. You've still got half duration on the meta. You could realistically look to keep pushing. Again, you know there's no rock. That's probably the big thing that you're concerned about. The damage output just isn't there without the Warlock.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Even the drums now available. Tino's got it coming to him on the courier right now. I wonder if they do choose to stay. Meta's gone. Maybe just
toss back on the Ursa. Oh, Fortune Soul just positioning a little bit too aggressive. Lashrak's going to try and TP into the middle. They might just turn to have...
Wall it.
Melee rack's going to be claimed. Soon to be a full set. Another toss back from Bob. Another double man stun. And Bob, he knew his fate. He was just going to stand there. Let the towers do the work. He wanted the full reset in the health pool. And Mena, look at them just toying with Chuan. And they're even going to give him some tips as well. They hit back. They're like, yep, we'll get some tips. We'll be that good mate for Palace, making sure we've got his back in this game and in this series as Enryu's down. And yeah, they're going to call it. Neon, they will be relegated out of Division 2 with this series lost to Execration.
Dire victory.
It's a shame. It's a shame for sure, right? Like it's a team that we've liked over the past few years. You know, really during the initial parts of the pandemic, they were one of those teams that rose up with previous members, of course, like Scam, Yopaj. They were really making a name for themselves, attending majors. But, you know, of course, those players got offers that were just too good to pass up. And it feels like Neon, they went down the TNC route, right? Trying to rebuild around the younger players with an experienced head at the helm. It just hasn't worked out too well for them. The mistakes that happened in the draft are pretty pronounced, in my opinion. And again, just some of that late game decision making, not taking the opportunities whenever they do come around, even though it is quite a slim chance for them to still get the win, means that a team like Execration is going to punish you. So pretty much the series and the game going just as expected, but it doesn't make you feel any better if you're a Neon fan.
No, without a doubt. Like you said, it's a team that we've really all come to love through the past couple of seasons here. But unfortunately for them, they are not going to be sticking around in the DPC. Well, we're done. They've still got one more series, of course. So their last series, maybe just to play for some pride, is going to be against Summit. So maybe they can sway some of the results towards the end. But yeah, pretty convincing from Execration and something to be expecting as well. And it's a big victory for them as well. So now you're going to jump up to 5-0. And this really means that
those three series.
Dude, those three series are just way too nuts. Again, it's Lil Gun Army Geniuses, Lil Gun Execration, and then Execration Army Geniuses. Those are the three big last series. The three last big series. I do not think there's any crazy shenanigans that can happen for...
No.
No, there's not.
Not possible. It's going to be one of those, two of those three teams going up.
Yep.
Because Lil Gun and Execration, they've already got 5 wins. The worst they can get is 2 losses, and everyone else below them already has 3. So it is going to be 2 of those 3 teams moving up to Division 1. So much to play for. And I think Lil Gun and Army Geniuses is coming up in about a day and a half. So that's pretty exciting, as that's being the first of 3 dishes of delicious little dishes to be able to feast on. And I'm excited. Like these are the ones that you're going to be looking to be really pumped for. Of course, Neon, they're on the other end of the spectrum. Their one against Summit will, I think, probably decide who's 7th or who's 8th, but that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Maybe for seeding in the TI regional qualifiers, but other than that, not too much of a big consideration there. So yeah, Execration, good team.
Very, very good team. We are waiting for a interview. We should be able to get one with the lads on Execration. Not sure who it's going to be at the moment. I'm trying to find out what's going to be occurring there. But after this series, we are going to have a bit of a break. It's going to be about, at the moment, hour 10 minutes. But of course, when interview finishes, could be like hour 5. Next up, we're going to be moving over to Eastern Europe. We've got Hydra taking on Hellraisers, which is going to be a very exciting series. So we've got a double header of action, like we said earlier on, but from C to jump over to Eastern Europe, and we're really starting to get to the later stages here. Week 5 we've just kicked off, and week 6 is like a 2/3 of a week as well. We don't get full
tiebreakers
action. No, tiebreakers, what you're exactly right, actually. So yeah, more than likely we're going to get a lot of tiebreakers occurring as well. Division 2, with how close we're looking, anything could happen over in for Eastern Europe, Division 2, C, Division 2, and even Division 1s as well. So man, it's a good time to be a Dota fan. That's all I'll say.
It is. Maybe not so much if you're part of the Chinese region and you've got multiple Roshans spawning in your games and just confusing you. For those that aren't aware, I'm sure it's on Twitter. I've posted it on Twitter. Just the clip of multiple Roshans spawning in an official DPC game. So it was certainly very interesting. I think only one of them had the Aegis, actually. So that was also an interesting aspect there.
Dude, I surely thought there was going to be multiple Aegises. I just, like, what's going on? So
that was a game that had to be remade, basically. Like, Valve did a special instance thing because, like, connections dropped for both teams, and there wasn't any, like, oh, sorry, you weren't able to reconnect, blah, 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 blah. It was just, like, complete cutout. So Valve remade the game at the exact same point in the game.
Ooh.
But somehow there was an extra rush in the game, so... Don't know how it happened, but it happened.
So something went a little bit wrong with the coding there, but we are unfortunately not going to get an interview with one of the lads on Execration. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick a rerun up in between the break of C and Eastern Europe. So like we said, it's going to be an hour and 10 minutes until our next series, Hydra taking on Hellraisers rerun. We'll be going to keep you guys entertained. and we will see you guys after a bit of a prolonged break.